Won't be the first time, or the last.
7 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. Rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I start privilege of the floor, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Gilbert for his past 25 years of service on the town board. Thank you, Gilbert. And we hope that you're still stay in touch so we can run things by you every now and then. Well, thank you. Privilege of the floor. Anyone? Vicki?
Sure. Just looking over the monthly financial report, and I've noticed there's several accounts that are over
Yes.
budget, but yet there were no budget amendments listed on the,
We're going to do it at the end of your meeting. Yes.
I still have some questions on why the health insurance and highway fund is overdrawn by such a large amount.
Because I screwed up when I budgeted. I was under the impression that Greg only had a one person and he has two person. So that was my error.
Okay.
But we can take some of that from the highway to make up for the highway superintendent because we didn't use all of his insurance when Steve retired. That's why.
Okay. And in reference to the truck purchase that we made,
Yes.
there's not a motion in the minutes to purchase it, but there was never anything mentioned in there where you were going to get the money.
Which truck are you talking about?
The pickup, new pickup, the 43,000, whatever it was.
We
The
said we were
motion to
taking-
purchase it for the amount, but you never referenced where you were going to get the money to purchase it.
We took part of it out of the equipment, not equipment reserve. Machinery, equipment,
Yeah, it was
and then we're going to transfer out of our savings.
It was
to make up.
quite a big hurry, and it was
Yeah.
really, we were very limited on what we could get. We went all the way to Burlington to get that, and so it was one of those things where we kind of needed the money in a hurry, and then it, so it came out of machinery, and that's why that one is overdrawn.
Yes,
That's by 18,000.
Right.
yes, and we'll be pulling money out of our,
So you're going to need to make a that you're going to transfer funds from the savings, highway savings into the 5130.2.
yes. And we'll be doing that at the end of your meeting.
And on culverts, when are those going to be purchased?
That, there's a delay on that, correct, Jim?
Yeah, the problem is that it's not going to be coming in until the end of January.
So those will not be able to be charged for this year's budget.
Is there any possibility that that money can be set aside in any way to pay for that? I mean, is there any legal issue with that? Because
The only money they can set aside is money that they put in the equipment reserve fund, and that's for purchase of equipment.
the reason I asked, I'm not sure how that works, but I hate to
Anything that's
spend,
left goes in the unexpended balance
because
of the,
I hate to spend $14,000 on culverts that are going to be used next year and then have to do it all over again. So you'd be kind of like a double hit on 1 year's budget. I mean, very likely we'd end up spending that same amount of money next year again. So it's a lot of a hit on one
only
year's
thing they
budget.
can do is do a budget amendment next year and transfer funds from the unexpended fund balance and do a budget amendment.
Can you prepay?
I tried that, and the problem, the fellow that we were getting it from, it is a state contract price, but he said, if he charges me now and you send a check in, then that looks like it's profit because that goes on his taxes for this year, even though he hasn't given us the product. So what he's telling me is that if he charges me now for something that's going to come in next year, the end of January, that he'll take a hit on the taxes on that.
I think it's because it's still showing in inventory, because they haven't been delivered yet.
Right. it'd be a losing proposition for him.
So, yes, we'll transfer money into the equipment reserve, anything that's left over.
While we're on that subject, I did have a problem with the plate hamper. It's the same issue. It's not as much money, but it was the same issue as far as not coming in, and that's something that's been for quite a while.
Well, what did you say again, Sue? You're gonna transfer what money to the equipment reserve fund?
If we have any funds left over in the highway, we'll transfer into the equipment reserve.
So, such as what kind of funds?
I don't know, I have to wait till after this meeting so I can go through exactly where we are.
And that's when I should bring all of the receipts that I have, correct? So get that tallied up.
Yep.
Here.
We'll get that figured out, yes. Anything else, Vicki? No. Anyone else?
Yeah, I know as well. So it's a good thing. We figured we'd end the year on a good note, and from the Lake Adonia Association, we want to thank the Highway Department and the Fire Department for the services that they offer us, especially these last 3 storms. It has been awesome on that road, I gotta be honest. So we just want to, on behalf of the association, say thank you. Sometimes we forget to do that. Thank you.
I got one, okay? I
Would
pay
you
my
state your name,
taxes.
because I don't know who you are.
I pay my taxes.
Yes, what's your name, sir?
Earl Martin.
Okay.
I pay my taxes. And I pay my taxes, but I can't have on my property what I want. Because I got lawnmowers and stuff on it, they say it's a junk lot. Well, to me, it's not a junk. Because I use the parts to take care of my equipment, my mowers and stuff.
You have a
I-
business?
Huh?
Do you have a business?
No, I don't. I don't have a business. But I'm a veteran, I'm a senior citizen, and also disabled. So
Okay.
what I got in front of my house, people think that it goes all over the place. It don't. I haven't, there wasn't nothing below. Only thing I got was a broken tree out of this windstorm. In my place, because I ain't got the money to fix it up more, they're always on me. I'm gonna tell you what, the town is. I am gonna sue the town under every law that I can sue them under. And I mean, for what I got.
Mr. Martin, we passed a law of garbage, I can't remember exactly how it's titled, but it's to take care of the junk and what we could consider as junk, maybe you consider as treasures. But we've had many complaints about people that are accumulating things around their property.
Yeah.
So we have passed a junk law, and that's why you have been cited.
Okay, there's another thing. Okay, then you got a big farmer here, you got big farmers here, and you ain't done nothing about the E. coli that's in the wells of this town. My well's got E. coli in it.
I
And-
haven't had anything reported to us in years
And I'm
on
not-
that.
But you ain't done nothing there. You're not trying to protect the people that's paying some of the taxes. He said, oh, Dick Akins is paying 3/4 of the taxes? I'm gonna tell you what, I don't care how much taxes he's got. If he owns the land, he should be responsible for the wells in this place. Because the state has been lying to you this every time you turn around. And it was just about a few years ago when they said, oh, acid rain in the Adirondacks and the Catskills were caused from the factories out west. You know where it came from? Nobody, they never told you. They were dumping jet fuel up in the Adirondacks and the
Okay,
Catskill.
I'm going to stop you there because that has nothing to do with the town. That's beyond our control. The town board has passed a law regarding the junk. Mr. Plouffe has been hired to enforce those laws. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, now, that's it. But like I said, people say it, but they don't think that a poor person has the rights either to have what they have.
And that has nothing to do with it.
Yes, it does.
No, we're trying to clean the town up.
Clean it up.
And we went according to New York State law.
Clean it up.
There's many places that are, have
Clean it
law.
up. I'm gonna tell you what. You trying to clean it up. What, that is a racist law. That is a racist law. And you got a sign right here saying, right out there, saying, no, racist.
That's not on town property, so there's
That
nothing.
doesn't
we-
matter.
there is
It's
nothing we
it's
can
still
do.
there. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? On my property, I'm gonna put a thing. I'm gonna put a sign. Welcome to Cowkid Alley. Hopkins.
You can put whatever sign you want on your land. We don't have any regulations about that.
Okay.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but
But I'll tell you what.
our code enforcement went according to what we have on the law.
Yeah?
So that's
When
what.
are you gonna vote? The law is, like I said, it's a racist law. It is a racist law. And
Well, Mr. Martin.
what do you want me to do? You want me to sue you?
On what grounds?
You want to?
You can do whatever you have to do, but there are no grounds for it.
And
We
another
took
thing,
the law from
vehicles.
New York State.
You say, okay, I've got 3 campers on my lot. I can only have one?
Bruce, did you say that?
The law calls vehicles anything
Anything,
that's pulled or run by motor vehicles.
anything
Trailers,
that's not registered?
tractors, trailers, cars, trucks, it's all considered motor vehicles. Lawnmowers, anything's got a motor or pulled by motor, it's considered a vehicle. The law says you're allowed to. That's state law.
State law.
Well, then, you're doing racist laws. You're enforcing racist laws. And
Well,
No.
us and every other town in New York State. I'm sorry, but there's nothing, I mean, we passed the law. Mr. Proof is following up on the laws. You're not the only person that he has seen. That's all I can say on it.
pass the law, and you passed the law here.
The town board passed the law, yes.
Yeah? Well, I'll tell you
Just like
what.
every other town.
Well, the town board passed the law, but all you did was,
Copy
you just took the state law and put them into one.
and to put them into one,
All
yes.
state, what you actually just reinforced the state law, what you did. You didn't change anything, it's all just cards on the state books. So, you know, if anybody's wrong, it'd be near the state. Yes.
There's nothing else, we'll move on. Any other privilege of the floor? Approval of the minutes from November 15th and November 29th. A motion, please?
I have some corrections.
Okay.
Under highway, on the November 15th, I got a dollar sign here. For $43,311. And the other one was on the resolution for the correctional facility, last page rewording, should be reworded. And that's it.
On the last page, where?
Of the resolution for the correctional facility. That was not our error, but it is there. You see that?
Okay, a motion to accept the minutes as amended by Debbie.
I make a motion that we accept them with the corrections.
Second. Rick, seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the financial report for November. And as I said, we're looking to, never mind, I jumped ahead of myself. A motion to accept the financial report for November.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Rick made a motion to accept, a second.
I'll second.
Debbie seconds, all in favor? The audit of bills, vouchers number 277 to 299 in the general account, $6,821.81. Vouchers number 121 to 131 in the highway account, $50,008.32. Vouchers number 1 to 3 in the ARPA account, $24,128. Vouchers number 21 to 22, the DHLS account, $635.88. The ARPA account, we put a deposit on the filtration system. We got the AEDs and the LDSH. So motion to approve the audit bills. Gilbert made a motion.
I'll second.
Seconds. All in favor? Review of the budget report to date. We'll be doing that at the end of the year meeting, as soon as we set that date, and then we can make all the transfers at that time. Correspondence from our legislator report. They had 49 resolutions, 10 modifications to the budget, 29 agreements, contracts to be signed, a resolution authorizing the filling of vacancies, a resolution calling on the governor to reconsider the closure of the Islandsburg Correctional Facility, resolution charging for tax items, resolution adopting the mortgage tax report, a resolution approving elections, real property, and community college for the year 2022, resolution authorizing the printing and or inserting additional information explaining the exemptions on the back of the 2022 real property tax bill for the city of Islandsburg, a resolution adopting the 2022 budget, and a resolution adopting proposed local law reforming 15 legislative districts. Any questions, please feel free to reach out to Rick. The next under correspondence was I sent this to all the board members previously. It was a memo from the CCRP, the Concerned Citizens, regarding solar. I forwarded that to Alan, our assessor, and unfortunately he's ill tonight, so he's working on responses. Received a letter from the Adirondack Park Local Review Board. Basically, they're requesting that we support the Adirondack Park Local Government Review Board by giving them a sum of money,
Yeah.
$300. So, and woo. Okay, so that was, so we can discuss that with new business if you want. Move that down. Old business. We had the request from the Volunteer Transportation Center last month. Debbie volunteered to contact them to see exactly what it was, so I'll let her explain.
I spoke with the program director from St. Marks County, Christine Courier. Basically, it's to kind of cover some of the funding for Medicaid, and what they do is they take Medicaid patients to medical appointments, and they give them vouchers for the community bus to go shopping, and they do some fundraising. I told her that we had already worked on our budget for this coming year, and that did not feel that we could possibly add that to our budget. But we would discuss it, and so I asked her if it would be possible for her to come and give us a presentation next year before we even start working on the budget, because we've already expended whatever organizations that we're going to give money to, so she said she would be glad to, so that's where we left that one.
Any questions for Debbie on this? Thank you, Debbie, for taking care. On to the committee reports. Supervisor. When Rick Perkins, our legislator, sent me this report, he also asked me to check to see what your feelings were on eliminating the fuel tax. He said that he's held off on going for it because it says it could cost the county between $4 and $5 million, and he's afraid that that would trickle down to taxpayers. So he wanted to know how we felt about it, if we thought that we should do away with the fuel tax for now, or how we should do it.
How much county fuel tax is it?
I don't know what it is. It's supposed to be a percentage, and I don't know what. Is it like,
I remember correctly, didn't they put that on there to help pay for something? There's one of those deals, they never took the back off after it was paid for. Is it a temporary measure?
Well, they all say it's temporary measure when they have to add
I
tax.
mean, no, but I meant taking it off.
taking off could be temporary because of the price of fuel, gas and fuel oil now, because it's kind of high, and so they were hoping to eliminate it to help the people more income.
Would it only be on home heating fuel? That's what it was before, home heating fuel, would it only be on that?
He just said the the tax, so I would think it would be for all of it, 4 to 5 million.
What is it, 2% on heating fuel?
I know that they didn't, it's just heating fuel there at one time.
So I said, I'll check with the board and see what they think. I mean, either way, you're gonna have to pay, either when you get your fuel or when you get your property taxes, because they're gonna have to make up for it somewhere. I guess my feeling is, my own personal opinion is, why not eliminate the fuel tax now, let people get ahead a little bit, and if they're tax, I mean, I've got an email to Rick to ask him like how much we're looking at for our
When do you
town.
need to know what are we taxing? We're taxing gas, just
Yeah.
fuel oil, diesel?
That he did not say. I can get back to him after that. If it was just, let's say, it was just the heating oil.
I don't know if the 2% is counting on the fuel oil, or is half that state, half that county?
Sure it's half and
I think so.
Everybody's got to get the pie.
half. I'm pretty sure it's half and half.
So you're only talking 1%. If it's just fuel oil.
No, I think it's, why do I want to say it's 1%? That the state is so much and we are so much. I can't answer those questions.
Okay.
He didn't,
We have another meeting for the end of the year anyways, right?
Yes.
We can,
I can check and get,
all right.
we can go table that then. Jones Bridge, they're having a ribbon cutting Friday at 9:30. However, even though the bridge is located in the town of Hopkins, they never notified us. So I read it in the paper and said, well, I'm going to be there anyway. So if anyone else is interested in going, it's at 9:30. That's about it for me. Questions? Alrighty, move on to code.
Well, kind of quiet, actually, I think 28 minutes of budget, which is better than I expected, considering the price of materials. Probably that to be 28, ordinarily you're on 40, so. And then motion by Stephen put on tax roll, down had it, for the tax, but you want to go. Hopefully by the next, by middle of January, it should be on tax roll, that's what we're doing. And then we'll see what next year brings, that's about it. Going on you, not me.
Must be the highlight of your day, Richard. You must have talked yourself into that 4 days in advance.
All right, assessor. Assessor's office. SLCAA held its November 2021 monthly training session. End of year meeting was held at the town building. Topics that were discussed but not limited to are as follows: election of officers for 2022, the reval towns for 2022, new trends for all of St. Lawrence County towns. Discussion on the new trends that New York State developed. Waterfront parcels have increased in 1 year 16%. Residential parcels increased 8% and vacant land parcels increased 10%. This will have a negative effect on the equalization rates for 2023. Although the trend may change and decrease spending on sales over the next 1 to 2 years. Trends have never been this high before, but it's a seller's market now, and along with low borrowing percentage rates, sales have skyrocketed. All the 2022 aged and enhanced star renewals have been sent out by the end of October. Also, the firemen's and ag land exemption renewals should be receiving renewals throughout December and January. They must be in by March 1st, 2022. He continues to value the completed new construction assessments for 2021 and 2020, I reversed those, by inspecting each of those particular parcels. He has a list that Bruce Klug has inspected and informed him of their completion. He will have to correct the inventory and reassess using the new updated values. He's been installing completed inventory on computer files along with address changes, building permit construction, and property transfers. The next assessor's training seminar will be held live on January 5th, 2021. There was a question regarding the town tax rates. He doesn't have those figures yet, and the real property office will be sending them out by next year. Also, the solar assessment figures. We can't get a figure on that yet because we don't have the information from the companies to do the formulas. That is information you need to calculate the assessed values. Any questions regarding residential systems, please call me at the office on Monday mornings from 9:30 to 12. 315-328-4187, extension 2. Let me repeat that. No.
Did he say that we just went through a reval and we're still going to have a negative impact on equalization rate?
He says waterfront parcels have increased in 1 year, residential's increased 8%, vacant land increased 10%. This will have a negative effect on the equalization rate for 2023.
Really? And we just went through a reval.
Yep. Any questions? 315-328.
No, you don't need to write that down for me.
Extension 2.
Not extension 1, not extension 5.
Library. Anything?
The stuff for the library and the museum is in place. There has been forward motion, just it ain't completed. One of the helpers got COVID, so holidays and COVID, and
So it probably won't be done by the end of the year? Okay. Okey-doke. Museum.
that's same boat, waiting on. One guy just got over COVID, he's free, he's out tomorrow, so I doubt we'll be working on it this weekend, hopefully the next couple of weekends.
Okay.
I sing along with the bus.
What? Oh, you're saying one was a bus?
Being we had the windstorm the night before, and it was not a nice day, and nobody showed. We had lots of
Children's
cookies.
Christmas party was a success.
Yeah.
How was it at the end when that squall hit? Everything got wet that we had out there.
Yeah, that's all right. I wasn't thinking about that as well. Yeah, you had over 100 again this year, they said.
Yeah, 96.
96.
Wow.
Good.
Well, that's great. Hey, highway and safety.
Well, we had some maintenance work to do in the shop. We've been working on the trucks. Truck 5, we had to get a new transmission in, and fortunately, we got some help from New Country Ford, and they got us in and out really quick, and the transmission was under warranty, so everybody was grateful for that. Now, the new truck that we just purchased, the new pickup truck, we've been working on getting that equipped. That's all set to go now. And we're trying to keep all of the trucks so that any plow can fit on any of the trucks. So should we have a problem in the future, it's not such prices. And we can use the small sander on 2 of the trucks equipped for that now. So when we do have a problem in the future, it won't be that big a deal to get something else in the service quickly. Basic things, we've had to replace some broken windshields, some new rear tires. We've done some maintenance on ditches where water was running into the road and freezing up on Sylvan Falls Road. We've been very busy with trees and brush. It says here that we plowed and sanded for 12 days, but actually I did this report a couple days ago. It's even more now. So I guess that's all. Lynn's been a big deal.
Rick, Jim, you said you put a new windshield in truck 5.
That's correct.
Was that, did we go through the insurance company for that or no?
We don't have that kind of insurance. I was shocked that the price was, I believe, $248, and it'll be a little less than that because the bill came through with tax on it.
Right,
So
okay.
Dick's gonna help me take care of that, or
So
take
we
it.
don't have coverage for that?
That's what the insurance company told me we didn't have. Is that a mistake?
Because I thought when I called him, he told us we did, and he told me to give him a price, but we would have probably have a higher.
I've been around, but
Okay. Just checking.
Um,
That's good.
And I would like to get together with you at your convenience to go over some of those things before the final meeting. So I don't know if you want to give me a time and I'll make sure I'm there, or if you want me to just drop in when you're in the office.
Just drop in when I'm there. I'll be there Wednesday morning or Wednesday night, or any other time. Just give me a call and I can come down.
Well, I can
I'm
wait
not
for
that
Wednesday
far.
morning.
Hey, town facilities.
That's nothing. I think everything's going good.
What's that?
Oh, we have a new,
Is new.
yeah, we have a new AED, which is wonderful.
We've been trained to use it. I've been trained to, I think that you've all used that.
Sorry, Jeff and I have been trained.
So, yeah, I think the trash,
Training, do the training?
No, they definitely won't let me do that.
I'm getting information on trailers.
I think the trash is not as much of a problem, or is it? I don't know if we picked it up today.
I meant to look on the way over at 4 o'clock and I forgot.
Ours wasn't picked up today.
I was gonna say, they didn't pick it up at our house.
Okay,
So they
well,
probably didn't then.
That is-
I think that they're still having issues with their truck. They're buying used trucks, I think they need to invest, but.
If it turns into a problem, let me know before it's, we put our garbage back in the shop tonight because we didn't want to come in the morning and have to clean it up all over the
Right,
yard,
right,
so.
right.
But if it doesn't work out, give me a call, we'll deal with it.
They have lids on them?
We just we bag our garbage and
Oh.
put it right in front of the door and then they stop and pick it up. Yeah, we don't have garbage cans outside.
Yeah, and this one's covered, so it's
You know,
not as much of an issue. The cover is much better on this one than,
Doesn't look like.
yeah. And, we got a good report on our water, is that correct?
Yes, we did. Our water
So
has.
it's finally passed?
Wow.
Well, the hall is being used more, so the water is being used, so that's a good thing. But,
Rescue, they have a new president. The former president resigned. So the new president right now is Jim Hartford. I couldn't remember his name. And then they'll have their elections next month. And then, I think that's it for down there right now. Someone called. Hey, Jonas? Senator.
Just a letter was sent to Lyndon, I think you got one from Lyndon already, maybe?
Just recently?
On the sales,
The one that he sent into the
Yeah.
debt, we haven't got ours yet.
you will be here.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna do that.
That was one thing, and Terry is getting done next week,
Yep.
and that's eligible.
Actually, actually, this end of this,
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, we'll be taking over the loan and about it.
yeah, I knew that, the attorney was going to do a letter back to him regarding his offer.
We can't accept the offer.
Right.
It's not about the-
Groundskeeper's not here, but I'm assuming he's someone when needed.
When you, everything around for the fire.
Okay, on to new business. In the topics magazine that we got, there was a section in there on the funds for the ARPA, the American Rescue, whatever that stands for. One thing they suggested is that you do a, you want to have a committee from the community and see what their ideas are from this, for using the funds. I mean, we've gone ahead, we bought the AEDs, we're buying the water filter, but it'd be nice to have some community involvement. And, sorry, I just saw Red Lake go by. Squirrel. I'm living with my husband too long. Red light stopped me in my tracks. So we're going to, we thought, Debbie and I discussed this, and we thought maybe we could place an article in the newspaper asking for, you know, anyone that's interested in sitting on a committee to give us ideas of what this money could be used for, what they would like to see the money used for. I mean, I have my ideas, Debbie has some ideas, so it's pretty nice to get community input. So if everyone's in agreement, I'd like to place an ad in the, maybe not an ad, but a news article, yeah,
I want to cost it.
looking for,
Yeah.
yeah, looking for some volunteers to serve on that.
How many are you looking for? How many are you looking for?
Many as we can get. We'll probably get two.
Maybe one.
I'm looking at one there. Yeah, so, but yeah.
Wow, actually, the food in there seems like
I know you're looking at me.
The only one.
really.
He wasn't the only one.
Do I have,
That.
do I have a choice, or do I just volunteer now?
It would save us an article in the paper.
I'm
still putting it
You were gonna volunteer, you just hadn't realized it.
Oh, you guys made me sort of what you wish for.
No, that'd be good.
All right, yeah, I'll volunteer.
Okay. So we'll put an article in the
Yeah,
paper and
that's a lot.
anyone can let one of us know that they're interested. Next on the agenda is a hometown grant. There's a grant that you can apply for, and Debbie and I have started working on it. We'd like to put in a pavilion down to Fort Jackson Park, do a, put a new bathroom in that's ADA compliant. We've got to check the well that's already there. If that doesn't, if the well isn't any good, then we're thinking, asking, we can get up to $50,000, so. But, and I may have you review the wording.
Okay, I can do that.
Is there any power at that well?
I believe there,
Yes, I believe there is, because they put in an electrical service when my husband was on board. And when they did the, tore down the LePage house, that's one well. But there's also a well up on the hill by the bathroom, and that's,
not what,
well, no,
there.
that, the water came from the pump.
Brook, they pumped it out of the brook,
Yeah.
Right, they moved it from there, so we would have to probably drill a well up there to make that water potable. You know, so that's part of the grant.
So we're working on doing some, and it's an ongoing, so I mean, there's no set deadline for it. I think it's quarterly or something, so I'd like to get it submitted by the end of January, so we're ahead of it, but, so that's what that is about. Next on the list was some contracts that we received that I'd like to get signed and sent back, so people aren't panicking that we aren't going to contract with them. First one is the Tri-Town Rescue, North Country Life Flight, the Potsdam Humane Society, Quad-Town Senior Citizens, and the Chicks and Falls Adult Center. So if you motion to approve, you need to sign those contracts. I think we can sign them and get them back to the,
How much is the one for the dog pound? Is that $1,200?
1900.
How many dogs do you take?
1900.
1,900. All they did was send me a chart with a percentage. So I don't know, I can't give you an exact number.
Adults now?
It's like,
I'm just saying,
they probably could tell.
what's it
you.
cost you to drop one dog off?
Well, it's not the fact that you're dropping the dog off, it's the fact that they have to house it until someone claims it. That's where the charge is.
That's what I meant, well, what's the cost of the state?
$1,900.
I think it's very costly to, a lot of times those dogs and cats are there for months.
And I'll just
They
ask,
don't have,
like,
they have to go through and, take care of their medical needs and give them their shots.
I didn't know if it would be cheaper if we paid on a per dog basis or did the contract. Because whoever picks the dog up, gotta go pay to bail it out, so they're getting paid twice.
But a lot of times,
We don't used to pay per dog for here.
I believe that some of those funds come back to the town when people go and pay for their dogs, get them out of jail.
I was just asking, I didn't mean, I'm just saying it for,
Yeah,
Okay,
not very much.
no.
No, not very often and not very much.
It's a gamble. You might have a year where you only take in a few dogs, and you might have a year where you take in 20 dogs. So it's one of those things that's a gamble. You can be sure or you can be unsure.
we asked Phil to keep track this coming year of how many dogs he does. And we
He
can
could
break
probably
it.
tell you how many he's taken in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Probably on
Yeah.
one hand. Probably on one hand.
I don't know.
oh no.
I would be surprised.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, more than that.
Do you know there's more dogs probably than people in this town of Hopkinton? And that is not a lot.
You're serious?
I am serious.
Oh, there's at least 5 at some of these houses.
There are probably more dog population than people in
Yeah.
this town.
Unfortunately, nowhere near that.
Speaking of that, how's that going in White Hill? You got involved in that at all?
Which one, the Matthew?
I don't know the name, I
Yes,
just.
yes, Bob has been taking care of that one.
For the dog? Yeah. I didn't get involved, with the dog.
I thought they had other issues up there. The phone call I got, it was like a whole bunch of issues, and I figured you hadn't got dragged into this.
I didn't drag it up yet. I've been dragged in the junk yard.
I think the governor's been dragged into it, I think the county clerk's been dragged into this.
Oh, everyone has been dragged into.
That's why I cannot believe you come out of this unscathed. I made sure I let her know about you. I just cannot believe you didn't get dragged in.
No, Bob has been up there several times and worked with them, and they got the dogs some shelter, they got straw in the dog houses, and they now have water. They're out of the water, they have water to drink, they have food.
Okay, so
Yes.
they've done
That
it.
situation there is pretty much the same situation as the one Earl just left. It's the same.
Yeah.
We're talking about windows, not the lake on. Really nothing gets through.
I wanted to say to him, if you remove his container the one way, he probably could pile a lot of stuff behind his house, he nobody would ever.
Yeah, exactly. Right,
You're on that long street, I'm sorry.
I know.
Yeah, that word has come up so many different times. We focused that in the office one day, and I figured out where racist came from.
You must have heard it somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this deal here goes through before it starts good, so in the spring of the year, we can go for what Matthew, but try to get him next year, get that next year done. I don't think the judge wanted to deal with two at the same time. He's having fun with this one here.
You think I'm
Just say it.
So, date for the end of year meeting.
Well, we're-
You
we have
want to get the approval on those contracts?
Oh, I thought we did.
No. We got talking about dogs.
Oh, because he asked me how many dogs and.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a motion to approve the signing for the contracts.
So do you want a blanket, approval or
Unless you're
on each
questioning,
one?
unless you're questioning one in particular.
Rick?
I just,
Let Gilbert do it. so that's-
yeah, let Gilbert do it. Put the final nail in it.
Spend our money, Gilbert, before you go. Come on.
The dog thing is a something thing.
Oh.
I think he does do a lot, I get it, and he picks up nuisance and student.
Well.
That's another thing.
No, but that's not paying for Phil.
No.
All that is just for the rate to drop the dog off.
You can make a society and, yeah.
Well, a lot of that, I'll think motion
To accept all.
to it.
Okay, Gilbert has a motion to accept all the contracts that were presented. Second? Any seconds? All in favor? Yep. Well, no, after my end of year meeting.
Oh, you want to do that first? Sorry.
End of the year. End of year meeting, so we can do the last minute bills that come in, so we pay them out of this year's budget, do our final transfers. When is good time next week? Wednesday? Thursday?
Not Thursday,
Not Thursday?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay. Let's do
Anybody
Wednesday.
else?
Wednesday, Gilbert?
Yeah.
What's the date?
Right.
What time?
Actually, any day that week will work. I'm sorry, I have the week mixed up.
Two hours at
All
Wednesday.
right, anytime,
What time could you be here?
anytime.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you want to do it at 6 Wednesday night? Gilbert, could you make it at 6?
Yeah.
Debbie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, what's the fire
I
district?
think that's what I was just trying to remember what days we decided on. When? Yeah, I think so, it was Tuesday. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday.
A motion to do the end of year meeting for Wednesday, December 29th at 6 o'clock.
I make a motion.
Debbie made a motion, second. Gilbert seconds, all in favor? And the last thing is the letter from the Adirondack Park. So we want to come up with $300 for them. I don't believe, I know in the last few years we have never given them anything. Did we in the past?
I think we did, and then we stopped for a while, and we used to always contribute to it.
Do they do anything for the town?
I think they give you a hard time.
What?
I think they give us a hard
Yeah,
time.
give you a hard time. All you're doing is feeding an illness, but.
It's kind of like it's like a watch group, almost.
What, the APA isn't enough?
No, this is the
They
APA.
watch the APA.
Right.
They pick up what they don't get, just come, just ones go around to help pick up the crumbs.
Yeah, if they're watching the APA, they're not doing a great job of it, so. Sorry,
You don't want any more watchdogs up to the lake?
me and the APA don't see eye to eye. I have to say
My
that.
opinion
Is
is,
anybody up there?
they waited and sent this after our budget was already
Yeah,
set, so I say we just ignore
Call
this.
us next year.
Just say no.
Not interested. Privilege of the floor again.
I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this question or not, but at the special meeting on the 29th, you did the COVID emergency plan. That was going back.
Yes.
That was going
yeah.
back.
Oh, the highway withdrew their offer.
Okay.
I have not proceeded with anything else because we're at a standstill, so
Can I ask why we're even negotiating that? It's not part of the contract. The only thing that gets negotiated is what's in the contract currently.
because of the part where we had put one man during the emergency.
But you're negotiating something that's not in the contract.
Well, but they won't, anything we do though with the men has to go through the Teamsters.
If it's in the contract and you're violating the contract, yeah. Or if you're trying to, yeah.
Well, we were trying to change the contract, really, because we were
It's
adding
gonna be a
it.
COVID emergency policy.
I know, but they will not go for it. So, we're at a standstill, they won't do it, and we think it should, you know, that we should have something in there for an emergency, and
If you're gonna make it part of the contract, if you're negotiating the contract.
so next year, when we renegotiate your contract, we can try it then. But as of right now, there is no policy, and I'm not,
Is that Vicky?
That's when it shouldn't be negotiated into the contract then.
This was just more or less making a exemption for COVID in case someone, if they get short-staffed, this is
Right.
the way we can keep
I
going.
understand that, but that's the town board's policy for COVID, period.
but
So then it goes to the highway superintendent, and he can enforce the policy until you negotiate the contract and get it into part of the contract.
Yeah.
but we can't get it in the contract because they won't
Next
do
year,
it.
you can.
I think I get what Vicky's saying, we can, you said that we can do a policy.
You can do a policy, and then you hand the policy over to your highway superintendent and say the board has this
Yeah.
policy. It's not a highway policy, it's a town board policy.
I
Then it's
thought,
up to the highway superintendent to enforce it or say, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I can't enforce
I was
it. It
gonna
doesn't mean you can't put the policy in place, is what you're saying,
Yeah, the
correct?
way you
Yeah.
present
Okay.
it.
I thought that the superintendent under an emergency has that power. I'm not 100% sure that.
There's an act of God clause in there, and you want to go down that
If you read the
slippery road.
book- If you read the book, I believe in a crisis situation, you can do that. And hopefully we don't end up there, but
What are you gonna
it's
do?
likely that we will.
What are you gonna do when they start filing grievances and all of that?
It's not part of the
Then
contract.
we'll worry about that.
I know it's not part of the contract, Vicki, that's what I'm saying, they won't agree to it being in the contract.
I get what she's
And I
saying, I get what you're
understand
saying, you guys agree the
Because
same
you're
thing, you
opening
just,
up the contract.
Yeah, it's.
one's looking at 6 this way, one's seeing the 9 the other way.
Yeah, basically, it's it. They're both saying the same exact thing.
You know,
They're coming at it from different angles.
I could talk to Jimmy and see what Jimmy has to say, but, you know, I am new at this, but.
What
my
Jim
un-
Novak has to say? He's the one who told me that the union won't go with it and that they withdraw any of it.
No, I'm not gonna get involved in that. I mean, let's say all of a sudden we had a crisis, and I believe I could say, well, you guys, you're gonna have to run one guy in the truck. And, you know, I'm not trying to make anybody unsafe, and I don't think any of the guys feel that way either. But I thought I had the ability to do that in a crisis situation. That was my understanding. Maybe I read it wrong, but it's,
I don't,
It's vague.
how do I? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I don't know what resource I could go to find out
Well,
for
you're
sure.
probably in highway law, or
That's what I was getting that out of the book, and
Right.
that's,
that's highway law.
yeah, that's the way I took it. I mean, it's not something you can use, but as long as it's a crisis situation,
Yep.
Okay.
That's my, it should not be part of a negotiation.
but yeah, I mean.
That's right.
I don't
If
see
they
it
want to
as-
negotiate it, put it in the contract next year, yeah, but right now it should not be part of the negotiation.
I'd rather not fight about it till the time comes, not that I'm trying to be lazy about it, or, I just, yeah.
we tried to do them, I thought it was a good plan and it was helping them out,
You
but.
know, I just heard Sue, I heard him say, I got this, I'll worry about it.
Yeah.
I want the last word.
Just give me a shot at that.
Mr. Quincy over there.
That'll be a full moon out there.
Anything else
2 days ago.
for privilege
For
of the
both.
floor?
What a year.
Started my countdown early. If there's nothing else.
I'll say this, I talked to Jim a little bit about it. That idea of sand cut and shelf on down on the Priest Road, I have not been told no yet.
Okay,
I've called to the county, and I'm on the attorney now, but I have not been told no. I haven't been told yes, but I haven't been told no. I did not realize how many people think they need to be involved in this.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't realize there's this many county agencies I had to go through.
What are you gonna say?
Well,
Huh?
the
Yeah.
state,
Yeah. The county agency may say one thing, the state.
the
may
telephone
say
company
no.
can make a mint just off from all the different extensions there is out there.
And did they ask to look?
Well, they answer, I just don't get the return phone calls. But the lady said, well, we've done it to other towns, we can't do it to you.
Keep working on it. Anything else?
Yeah.